Good morning and welcome to our weekly broadcast. Before we get started with our guest for the week, I wanted to go ahead and point out every week we have our weekly Facebook broadcast. We also have our Real Estate Tips Tuesday. And starting this week, we will have all of our Facebook broadcasts. Now I'll hand it over to Eric Gillman of Sharp Retention.
Alrighty. Beautiful. Good morning or whatever time of day it is where anyone is watching or listening to this. I really appreciate you taking some time out of your busy day to key into this. So what I want to share with you in just a few moments today is what we've developed over the years are our 6 keys for client retention and building raving fan clients. For those of you I haven't had the opportunity to meet yet, like I said, my name is Eric, and basically what I do is I specialize in helping agents and lenders brand themselves forever using their business gifting system. And really what it comes down to is strategically appreciating your clients. So I've been with the company for 11 years. We are the #1 team in the company. We do about $2 million worth of sales every year of our product, which is Cutco knives. We sell Cutco closing gifts, the world's best closing gift. But what's most exciting about that $2 million number is almost 75% of that is incoming repeat or referral-based business. So the goal of any business owner ultimately should be to build a repeat and referral-based business. Yeah? So that's what I want to share with you today, because the keys that we've developed over the years, this really simple system that doesn't cost your 2 most effective resources, which is time and money, this really simple system that we use to develop a 75, almost 80% repeat and referral-based business is 100% duplicatable. So that's what I want to share with you today. But really, I think what it starts with is a mindset about client retention, and having that being the immediate most important goal as you're starting to build out your business. But having that mindset of putting your clients first, and really when it comes down to it, is being more in love with your clients than you are with your business. But I think one of my favorite quotes that sums it up best was by Mary Kay Ash. And Mary Kay, if you're not familiar with her, she's the founder of Mary Kay Cosmetics, one of the largest cosmetics companies in the world. And what Mary Kay says when it comes to client retention or making people feel special is pretend everybody has a sign around their neck that says, "Make me feel important." And your job as a professional is to uncover what that is. Every person has something special about them, some unique story, some unique talent, some trials, some tribulations, some triumphs, and to be more in love with your clients than you are with your business. But so easily, sometimes we get lost in the statistics, the numbers, the metrics, the data, the quotas, the goals, that it's often easy to forget we are in the people business, whether that be real estate, loans, cars, whatever it is, you're in the business of people. Before I get into the actual meat and potatoes of it, for those analytical people who do like numbers, I'm going to share a couple really what we call our scary statistics. Now, these are scary statistics all year round. It's Halloween time right now, so they're extra spooky. But some scary stats about, really when it comes to client retention. So according to Forbes, 68% of people leave their salesperson because they feel their salesperson is indifferent. Now, that's not just exclusive for real estate. This is talking about everybody, but 68% of people, frankly, they just don't feel the love. They don't feel appreciated. They don't feel cared for. And people don't quit businesses. People quit people, okay? Forbes also goes on to say that just a 5% increase in client retention can increase profitability of your business up to 75%. Just 5% increases up to 75%, because all of us know that 80% of our future business is going to be coming from 20% of our current clients. And if you have that mentality over and over again, year after year, and you keep folding that 20% over into itself, what you have after a few years is a long-term referral and repeat-based business. But again, Forbes goes on to say the real true cost of client acquisition, and this is if you hear anything about client acquisition and retention, look, it's 5 times more expensive to get a new client than it is to retain a current one. Here's our philosophy. You spend so much time, so much money, so much energy getting your clients, lead generating, farming, prospecting. It makes sense that they use you and only you in the future, but that doesn't just happen naturally. In fact, it doesn't really happen all the time much at all. So to get more specific about our industry, real estate, according to NAR, the National Association of Realtors, only 9% of people can name their realtor or lender 2 or more years down the road. Only 9. And 86%, oh, we got a little ampersand sign there, 86% said that they would use the same realtor, but only 12% actually do. So 86% of people, when closing the transaction, said that you're my realtor, I love you, you're going to be my realtor for life, but only 12% actually do. So what we went on a mission to do is find out why that big gap. And when asked why the top two main reasons people aren't using the same realtor lender is simply your contact information is not readily available, as simple as it sounds. And more importantly, 98% of realtors do not follow up. You're not top of mind. As much as we like to think people are sitting around talking about their realtor or their lender all the time, just frankly, the simple fact is that they're not. So what are we going to do about it? That's why it's so important to appreciate your clients, speaking from a numbers perspective. But my question is, as we get into the actual mechanics of what we're going to talk about today, and I want you to think about this as the theme continuously through all of my 6 keys for client retention. And I ask this question is, what are you building? What is your business building towards? Is it going to be a business full of satisfied clients or a business filled with raving fan clients? And let's talk about that for a second, the difference between the two of them. Frankly put, as you can see in my picture here, the guy on the left is a raving fan client. The people on the right, they're super satisfied. They got great service with Johnny Realtor over here. They signed the documents, they had a great time, and they're most likely going to be part of that 91% of people who don't use the same realtor or lender again because they're satisfied clients. That's really what it boils down to. A satisfied client is someone who liked you and used you, but does not go out of their way and does not refer you another person or refer you business for 48, 36 months down the road. Because the lifetime value of a client should be 4 to 6 referrals at least. That's $300,000 to $400,000 in commission checks in lifetime value from one client. But a satisfied client doesn't do that. They're happy, but they go through anybody else the next row down. A raving fan is just someone who's going to go out of their way to refer you. It's based on relational selling. Raving fans are not made through transactional selling. They're not necessarily made through logic, but they're made through relational selling. And the interesting thing is there's no real trackable ROI on building raving fan clients. But we all intuitively know that the return is 10-fold to 100-fold, depending on how much love you're putting into it. But that's why, because there is no trackable ROI, sometimes it just goes by the wayside. But let's talk about what you actually own as a realtor or lender. You actually own your database. So if you don't want to be a slave to your lead gen platform for the rest of your entire life, look, when it comes to the whole Zillow thing, I play Switzerland. But the bottom line, .com, no one owns Redfin, Realtor.com, or any of those other lead generation sites. But you must have a retention system in place to keep the key clients that you have. And when it boils down to it, what do you really own? I hear people saying all the time, oh, my service is my gift. I give great service, and that's why they'll follow up with me. And I appreciate great service, as I'm sure your clients do as well. But the bottom line is, great service is great, but it is not great enough. You need to give great service nowadays to not get a bad Yelp review, to not get a bad Zillow review, to not have that one person just go on and blast you on Facebook because that one little thing that happened. Giving good service is great, but it's not great enough. Just think of what happens when you make people feel loved, making them feel appreciated. The easiest way to do that, and we're about to get into it, is giving them an amazing gift. You know, finding a way to make people feel loved and appreciated and cared for is a major part of the equation. Just think what happens when you give someone a gift. They feel special, they feel loved, they feel significant. You hit so many human needs. And the punchline of the whole thing is that, like I said before, if you're going to spend all this time and energy creating this great client relationship, finding your leads, generating, prospecting, doing all these things to get to the point of the close of sale, doesn't it make sense that they only use you in the future and become a raving fan and believe in you and refer you? That's what we believe in, and that's what we do. You know, the 3 main reasons, like we mentioned before, is that people aren't using you. It's just simply you're not top of mind, contact information is not readily available, and they're simply not feeling appreciated. They don't feel the love. And I think one of the best quotes to sum it up is from Patricia Fripp. She's the keynote speaker for Toastmasters International. And what Patricia says when it comes to branding, it's not your client's job to remember you. It is the ability to make sure they never even have the chance to forget about you. That's what we do. That quote pretty much sums it up well. But let's get into it. So here's what we're talking about. 6 keys for client retention, building life base. So it's your people base, family, relationships, trials, things that they have to go through in life. It should be to be a detective and find out what that is, because 80% of your future business is, these are, again, obvious things. We're getting more complex as we go, but have what's, what they own, what they're going to own, what they want to own, and then a second column with their kids' names, their dogs' names, their trips that they're taking, and then even further than that, what they actually, who also is implemented all of these. And he did last year, he did 150 deals. 120 of them were from repeat or referral based business. And all he does is call his database 1 month. Or my people base at least once a year to make sure that they feel loved, to make sure they feel appreciated, until it gets to a point where it's not this man, a tax accountant, whatever they need. Because here's the bottom line, and we'll move on to the next one, is the close excuse me, take a little bit of water. You got to identify your, it creates 80% of your business. This is most likely going to be coming from your goal group. Okay, so if you're wondering what these shiny gold people, I'm just be put into it, but it can be, I would recommend for realtors or lenders, anyone. So that doesn't have to be all clients. It can be 10 clients, 10 other realtors, and 5 lenders. People who you can and aren't even necessarily clients yet, that are prospects. A certain another realtor you want to do a deal with. So one thing in particular that our team does that I highly recommend, talking about strategic appreciation, is Facebook. So to see these 25 people, I want them to be on my newsfeed all the time. If, so being strategic with that, because like we mentioned before, there's no real trackable ROI when it comes to strategic appreciation, but work. So identifying your goal group is the first way to actually easiest way to find out is to ask. So we have these things called all about you sheets, and I'm happy to share this with the team. Will be stoked about it. And what does it say on there? It says obvious things: name, family. We can send a t-shirt. We know what size they other, like, we have an entire room. The room is under $20. We have a strict marketing budget, just like everybody I'm sure on this webinar. 5-minute journals, just things that make people feel appreciated, make people feel. How it gets really specific about custom. Our team leader went to Gonzaga. We have another client who went to Gonzaga as well. For those of you who don't know, they're a great school. They had a run to the national championship of the national basketball championship last year, and they didn't win. It was a great game. But our team leader, our partner, he had sent a Zags shirt to his client who he knew went there because he a $9 shirt. He called up and gave him 3 referrals on the spot. So that's how you get to know about your clients, is you customize it, you get that into the goal group. Got it. So we've got your databases locked down. So now we got to start making moves. Alone. Now, it doesn't have to be every single day. Doesn't really even have to necessarily be every single week. We recommend, give or take, on your list constantly evolving at all times. That's you taking them basically out once a year, twice a year. Finding out about them. Your main goal is finding out what they value, what they want to do. Sell real estate, get referrals. Huge. Our record-breaking lunch that we have, Corey Kavanewski, he's a referrals since November. Client from 2 or 3 or 5 years ago, out top. Because the problem with most traditional marketing is that either it goes in the trash or ends up expired or used. You know, pens run. Brush your teeth every day and you put your pants on before you go to work, one leg after the other. Make it a habit that you will take. But again, I challenge you to how often it's getting done. This next thing, super exciting. Happy birthday. This is how I look every birthday when I see my cake as well. So every once in a while, but a systemized Not talking about writing on their Facebook wall, the easiest form of communication for a birthday. Have the energy to write on their wall. You should probably consider if you guys should really be friends or anything like that. But going a little bit above, not time consuming and cost effective. We run a national based business, so it's a little bit different. We recommend anything local, cookies or bakery shop or anything. And we've developed this system over time. And like I said, the best thing about it is it can be used by anybody. Guess what people are going to talk about when a 5-pound gummy bear shows up? The person who's on their birthday with a little note in there that says, "Dear Joe Realtor, we personally removed all 6,000 calories." That generates buzz. And the whole point is to make you part of that 9% of people who can name their realtor or lender. That's the for the date, not the year or anything like that, but just makes people feel super important. Standing there yelling out to the world, like, make me feel important. And you have that huge opportunity. And then that keeps you top of mind, that's easy, that's tax deductible, that doesn't have to take a lot of effort and time. Other product out there that would do the job as good as ours to keep you top of mind with your clients, I would be selling it. But if you are not familiar with of the best, first class, it's basically like the quality of a Rolex with the guarantee of a Snap-on tool. And what we found is that most gifts in the industry are consumable. Bottles of wine, gift cards, champagne, maybe a gift basket or a nice plant or something like that for the house. And the problem with a consumable gift I heard a great story recently of a client who gave one to a client of ours who gave a gift to a client, and she was running around during a holiday party over the summer trying to find a knife, and the husband grabbed the spreader, which is that sandwich making one in there, to cut up a turkey. And all of a sudden this conversation got sparked about this Cutco knife and who gave it to them, and then that was the story she told a realtor and she relayed on to me. And here's a story that never took place ever, which is a party like that happening, and the husband says, "Oh, let me run downstairs and grab that toolkit that I got with that Lowe's gift card 4 years ago." Said no one ever. The point is you want to stay top of mind. Also, because they're engraved, they're 100% tax deductible. You can write off 100% of the cost of the gift. And then the last thing, like I said, is really putting a system in place. And this is the most important part about it. If you're running around town, every single month buying 3 or 4 different gifts for different closings, frankly, and for being frank, you're wasting your time. Your time is better spent doing just about anything else that's lead generating, prospecting, building client relationships, calling on your database, organizing your gold client list. All of these things above I just told that we went over are much more time effective than finding yourself in line at the grocery store once a month with a bottle of champagne and a gift card, hoping that they like it and the family still on hand. You keep them in your office. You give it to them, they love it, and you're done. That's why we're up in the Carlsbad area. If anyone's local, Chris Heller, the home seller, Tammy Fuller, all gold clients of ours because they don't have time to run around buying different gifts and personalizing for every single person. Here's the personalization. Everybody eats food every single day, and everybody's cutting that food into smaller pieces to make it fit in their mouth. And they're all in their kitchen every single day too. So, and to wrap it up, how many gifts are you going to give to, they're going to use every day, have forever, guaranteed, tax deductible, and creates you top of mind awareness forever. So I do have a special for Alex and James as well, and then I'll just conclude everything in here. If anyone wants to text me, I have my contact info. Is that the next one? Oh, one more. I have my contact info right there. For the first 7 people who watch this webinar, call, text me. I do like to reward people for taking action now on things they know they might want to be doing eventually anyway. So the way that it works is we get you set up with a half a year or a full year supply of gifts. Our minimum gift order is 5, but we bill over 5 months with no interest. So it's super nice on your cash flow. We have quantity discounts available, discounted engraving, flat rate shipping, everything that you're going to need to make you look like a boss when you're giving these gifts, with a letter and a video that corresponds with it. So we have all the resources you're going to need. But for people who do want to take action now and get your gifts taken care of for the rest of this year and into next year and get the full tax write-off for this year, which we highly recommend, give me a call or a text. My contact info is on the slide. It's 858-255-1142. For the first 8 people who call or text me or send me an email right now and just write your name, your cell phone, if it's an email or if it's a cell phone number, your email, and just put Alice and James in there. That way I'll know to get in touch. I'm personally going to buy you $75 worth of Cutco for free. As people who know Cutco know there's only one thing better than Cutco. That's free Cutco. The gifts range in price from $60 to $260 anyway, so we're just diverting funds from stuff that's going to get spent anyway. So really when it comes down to it, though, and just to wrap it up here, I really appreciate you hanging out with me and building this together. And I really want you to think about, as I mentioned in the beginning, what are you building towards? What is your current business plans, strategy for implementing strategic appreciation for long-term client retention? Are your clients going to go by the wayside and you continue to be a slave to your lead gen platforms? Are you going to put systems in place that put you in front of your clients every single day for the rest of their life, like a closing gift that has your name on it or a birthday card or anything else that's going to keep you top of mind? So is your database going to be filled with satisfied clients, or is it going to be filled with raving fans? So I really appreciate, again, you allowing me to spend some time with you today. Again, my contact info is going to be the last one on the slide. So to get that $75 worth of free Cutco, just call or text me now. We can get you set up with some gifts. And I really appreciate it. And I hope you have a fantastic and sharp rest of your day.
A huge thank you to Eric for sharing his knowledge with us. I will go ahead and post his cell phone number and his email in the comments below, so you have that on hand. Don't forget to watch us on Friday for our Fun Fact Friday, which will also be another Facebook broadcast. Thank you all for joining us today, and I hope you all have a great day.